Welcome back. We'll continue our discussion with Mr. Li Shangren, currently Deputy Secretary General of the ROC-USA Cultural and Economic Association, and formerly a member of our legislative run under the KMT. Shangren, would you share with our audience your view of the global financial crisis that we're enduring today? And we know the United States, many parts of Europe, and also Japan have received the brunt of the impact of this financial crisis. In comparison, China seems to come out of this, financial crisis. I shouldn't say come out of it because we haven't seen the end of it yet. But China seems to have endured the crisis in much better shape than many other countries. Why is that?
Yeah, we believe that this kind of economic crisis is not just caused by the cyclical factors.
Okay.
Due to the financial loss of the derivatives products, lack of regulation.
Of course.
We are suffering from the financial chaos.
Yes.
And we see that it's going to continue for a period of time. We are going to face such kind of recession, maybe ever experienced, and making our people feel insecure every day. But we look back to the United States, Europe. It seems to me that the Asian market is still healthy, still okay.
Compared with others.
Yeah, compared with the United States and Europe. And I think the most important reason is China. If we look at China, China is holding a largest
foreign reserve.
Foreign reserve, about 1.8 trillion US dollars. Obviously, it's going to be take the responsibility to stable the economy with the United States and other partners. And also, I think because of this kind of relations between Taiwan and China, maybe China is not the savior of the world economy. But I think Taiwan should not give up any chance to cooperate with China to strengthen our economy. I think that's kind of opportunity for us.
Yeah, and also we know the nature of Chinese economy is changing also because of global financial crisis. A lot of people, a lot of consumers are not spending money because there's that lack of confidence. So China cannot rely on exports anymore. It needs to have domestic consumption-driven economic growth. Do you think that's happening in China today? The domestic demand is fueling the economic growth, and do you think that will help China endure the crisis that we see happening much of the world today?
I see China has some strong points. The first one we just mentioned about the foreign reserve. And the second one possibly will be because the capital control, because of the different system.
Control, yes.
That's that kind of different system. So the capital control is better than other like European countries and the United States. That will be, at this time being, for the time being, is good for China's economy. And I think the third one will be the income of so-called fiscal policy. Because of China's income is very compared with other countries is enough, well enough. So that would be better for them to. With some kind of like expansion, like fiscal policy, expansion of the public work, public spending. So with such kind of points, I think China is better than other countries to overcome the financial chaos.
Yeah, we all know that at the end of October, there was the Asia-Europe meeting summit in Beijing. Over 42 countries attended. And also later on this month, on November 15th, in Washington, D.C., President George Bush will call a meeting of the 20 leading countries around the world to discuss ways and measures to revamp the international financial system. Pretty much to the Bretton Woods, the Accord, after the Great Depression. So do you think after all these exchanges among the leading economies around the world, that after all that's said and done, do you think China will emerge as stronger as an economic power and more of an international economic player in the international system?
I think so. After the Asia-Europe meeting in Beijing, more than
42
countries
yes.
Leaders they cooperate together to discussing the how to cooperate to deal with the financial crisis, and also they have a conclusion that they're going to set up like a $80 billion or foreign reserve, like a kind of bank to help the countries suffer from financial crisis. That would be the first step for China after the financial crisis to
assume a leader
of the world. And I think after the U.S. to be dominates the meeting of reshaping the international financing system, I think China will also play a very important role in that meeting. And after that, it's going to be more obvious. China will be take a leading role in the
international economy.
Right.
Yeah. How would you think? What would you recommend for those of us in Taiwan? In this financial crisis, when and if it does, get over, and then China is now becoming more of a leading player in the international economic system, how would you think that Taiwan's economy will benefit? With eased cross-strait tensions, and also China becoming more of a leading player in international economy, how can we benefit in the process to help our economy recover faster?
Maybe that will be the next topic.
Yes.
Of the meeting between CEF and ARETS.
Okay.
And for the first two meetings, we talk about some like general affairs.
Yes.
But for the next one, I think both organizations has to concentrate on the financial reform, both on Taiwan side and also on the China side.
Yes.
So that would be a very good opportunity to for the two organizations to cooperate. Once this kind of a cooperation convince our people that Taiwan and China can be on the same boat, we can really be good friends and even brothers. And in that time, possibly it will be easier for us and also for China to reach to a so-called possibly a political agreement in the future. And if we can give the opportunity to China and China can show their goodwill to Taiwan people, maybe it will be a breakthrough and we are going to make history.
Okay. And also throughout the financial crisis, I think people often remember and recite this phrase from Chinese Premier Wen Jiabao when he said, to overcome the crisis, confidence is more important than gold or any currency.
Right.
Would you agree with such a
yeah, that's
assessment?
True.
Yeah.
Confidence is just like air.
Yes.
You cannot feel its existence.
Yes.
But it's absolutely necessary for us.
Yes.
We can see that confidence just like air to cope with the financial tsunami.
Yeah, and also you mentioned that now the financial crisis might be over, but what we are confronted with is possible worldwide recession. Like you said, people need confidence, but a lot of consumers don't have confidence.
Yeah.
They want to hold on to their cash. They want to hold on to their assets. They don't want to spend money, and if they don't spend, that we cannot stimulate our economic growth.
Right.
And do you think there are actually policies by government, governments around the world, any government can actually do to help stimulate governments, people's spending and also restore that confidence level? Because you and I have been to the States many times, and sometimes we walk on the street and we see the U.S. consumers spend. Maybe now with the credit crunch, that's not going to be the case anymore. But do you think that needs to be somewhat reversed, so people now with the Christmas season around the corner.
Right. That's right.
People will start opening up their wallets and start using their plastics and start spending money, and then to avoid a possible worldwide recession.
To consume is the best policy, I think. And I would recommend to our government that maybe we can have a further tax cut, especially the consumption tax. If we have a tax cut of the consumption goods, people are willing to consume, and that will further stimulate the economy. If nobody likes to consume, and we can see that our economy will be like a
stagnant.
Stagnant Dead Sea. You can do nothing. So for the past few days, we can see our president Ma Ying-jeou and the premier Liu Zhaoxuan, they encourage people to spend the money. That's a good policy, but I think it's not enough. Maybe we can do something more to encourage the people to spend the money. And if we have to tell everybody that we got to cooperate to conquer our enemy.
Exactly.
To cope with the financial crisis. Everybody can cooperate as a family. So if the government can strengthen such kind of concepts to the people, it will be easier for us to get better.
I think throughout the ordeal of the financial crisis, one thing we discovered that no matter how rapidly arisen that China is, or no matter how strong Japan was at one time, still the United States is the big brother. Right. It's the leading economy, the leading player in the world. And not only international economy, also in politics, the United States is still the dominant player in world politics. And with the U.S. election just took place. And then we're going to talk a little more with Mr. Li Shangren as to what this U.S. election meant for cross-strait policy, for U.S., China, and Taiwan trilateral relations. We'll be right back.